Hello everyone, my name is Void Doctor and welcome back to another episode on the InfinityCraft server. And before we get started on the episode, if you hear any sort of wind noises, it's because it is absurdly windy outside right now, and there's also a chance it might start raining. So yeah, my recording studio isn't really very well suited to be a studio, so might need to take a couple breaks from recording until the weather kind of calms down a bit, so that might slow down production of this video a bit. However, you may not recognize where we're starting out today's episode, and that's because I haven't talked about this at all, because I've basically made all of this progress off camera. Essentially, Darkest Mind just returned to the server after taking quite a long break, and he built something on top of this hill. However, he kind of abandoned his builds here, and he's actually moving out to a desert, trying to start a cool desert town out there, which I'm super excited for. But I removed his build that he put up here, since he is probably never going to return to it. And he had this really cool mountain pathway, and he already had planted a bunch of spruce trees here, so I just thought it would be really cool to kind of turn these into more custom trees. And so I did, and I think it looks really cool. I think just having these sort of like more alpine looking trees, not alpine looking trees, oh, that's what they are. Okay, so they look kind of like scaled up Italian cypress, which I think is really cool. And I kind of want to cover this whole sort of mountainous area in them, because I just think it's a nice contrast with the sort of very low-lying plains surrounding this place. However, there's a really neat idea I've had for this hill for a very long while, and that is this castle, right? The castle that we built, Castle Westhold. It's extremely well defended from most sides, except this hill up here. And that's obviously because invaders could like come down from the hill, kind of just throw, bridges across onto the castle walls and easily get in. So I thought, why don't we put some sort of watchtower on top of this hill, right? Some sort of extremely tall watchtower, sort of kind of looking out for invaders, but also sort of preventing an assault on top of this hill, right? But then, because this hill is so high up, it's almost visible from everywhere around. So I thought we could also put some sort of like flame beacon up here, something sort of similar to Lord of the Rings, something like that, as sort of a warning for the entire town if something's happening. There's something that the whole town needs to be notified of. Then they can kind of look up there and see that maybe the fire's put out, and that sort of notifies them, oh shoot, there's something happening. So I kind of want to get constructing this watchtower now, not in the form of a time lapse, but just sort of progress updates. I am super excited for this build, because I've really been wanting to do this for a while. It's really going to kind of make the castle feel complete, sort of having a little extension of it on top of this hill. So I'll get right back to you guys with the progress update once I begin construction. R.I.P. chicken, you were probably not loved by anyone because you were only alive for a couple minutes. But hey, there's someone mourning your loss. One of the Westhold townspeople who is probably going to eat you at some point. Right, so this is just a very rough sketch, but I thought we could add something like this. I don't even know what these are called. Buttresses, maybe? Something that kind of reinforces the walls right here and just makes this whole tower look extremely like sturdy. Yeah, and then we'd have the walls like this. Again, this is just a very rough sketch. Let's see how that looks. Right, yeah, I like how that looks. Okay, let's continue with this. And of course, I'll add detail, but right now this is just sort of a very, very rough sketch trying to see what this whole place is going to look like, sort of the ground floor. And then we'll start adding detail. Right, yeah, this whole place looks so sort of old and sturdy. I don't know, something about this whole place just looks like it's so prominent. And it's 3 blocks tall. Imagine what this place is going to look like once it's like 15 blocks tall. This is going to be, it's probably going to draw more attention than the castle. But my whole idea with this is it's sort of an extension of the castle. So yeah, and it's also kind of obscured by the trees, so you still kind of see the castle first. And it's going to be a lot less colorful than the castle. The castle has its nice different shades of brown, so it'll probably still not take the spotlight, which I want the spotlight to stay on the castle. I just want this to kind of add more lore to the world, everything I build, I want to have some sort of story behind it. So or most things I build, I want to have some sort of story behind them. So yeah, the story behind this is just kind of like making up for the one critical weakness of the castle, which is its complete lack of defenses up here. So yep. Okay, I am super happy with how this is looking so far. I kind of got rid of these two, like buttresses, I think. Again, I don't know the technical term, but I think they're called buttresses. I got rid of the ones right in front of the door here and on all of these little bits right here, because I just think it looked a bit strange. It looked very wide at the bottom. So yeah, I just think this looks a bit better, but it still does look very reinforced, and like you could hit this with like a cannon or a catapult or something and it wouldn't crumble. And a little while ago, when we were still constructing the castle, this is like many episodes ago now, I said that these walls, you could hit them with one catapult and they'd crumble. That was not true. I was not thinking at the time. These are 3 meters, or roughly 9 feet thick walls. That's 9 feet of stone. I think these could take a few catapult hits. So yeah, I was not thinking at the time. Don't trust Void in that episode. So yeah, these are definitely catapult proof walls for a few catapult hits. Maybe not a dozen or, you know, that many, but you know, they could take quite a bit of a beating. Okay, yeah, I can see why past me really wanted to build this. The views from up here are fantastical. Like, this isn't just fantastic, it's fantastical. It's like, it doesn't even look real. This is crazy. You can almost see Fake Blossom's base from up here. In fact, you can. You can see her sort of outer palisade wall. This is awesome. I am so happy that I've constructed this. Or am working on constructing this. Alright, I'm really liking how this is looking now. I really think this tower is quite impressive looking. Like, even from down here, it just looks so... yeah, it just looks quite impressive, and it also looks like something straight out of a fantasy novel. Like, I don't know, that really pointy roof just makes it look like something straight out of a fantasy novel. So I'm really happy with how this has come together. And now the last thing I need to do, or the last 2 things I need to do, are obviously add some detail to the stony bits, because currently they aren't very detailed. And then we also need to add the large fire that's going to be sitting at the center of this thing. Probably 9 campfires? I mean, how big is it up here? Oh, yeah, we could definitely fit 9 campfires in here. Yeah, and then, oh, that's going to be so bright. There's going to be so much smoke. Oh, that's going to be so cool. I love this. Okay, this is going to look awesome, and yeah, this should be super cool. And then we'll extend this path down, and then we'll also connect this path to the main road down there. Also, again, thank you to Darkest Mind for building this path. I pretty much just repurposed this path after he left. Alright, so let's see how this looks. I put campfires here, not really because I want the smoke to go any higher, but just because it kind of raises the campfires up so you can see them better, and because it kind of makes it look like the campfires actually have something to burn off of. And let's see how this looks from the ground. We'll really get a good idea of how this looks when it's nighttime, but let's just kind of look at this from on top of my roof. Oh yeah, that definitely looks like there's something in there. Oh yeah, this is an awesome sort of like indicator, like a warning beacon, again, because you'd have people sort of stationed, I guess, at the corners, maybe like here, sort of just looking out on, you know, on the landscape, and if there was any sort of invasion or really anything happening, even if there was like, I don't know, some massive lava flow or something, they could sort of warn the entire town, you know, go hide in like your bunkers or whatever. So yeah, this is a pretty cool sort of detail. And now, speaking of details, the last thing I have to do is detail the entire foundation. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll pretty much be done. Okay, folks, I am super happy with how this tower has come together, and currently the way to get up is just a scaffolding, but eventually I'll probably replace this with maybe some trapdoors and a ladder. But in other news, I've also just finished adding some custom trees and converting the old ones, the old, you know, default trees into customs. And I also just finished up this pathway and added some lanterns around here. So very happy with how this sort of signaling post has come together up here. And I really do think that it adds something quite special to that hill. You know, just having that different style of tree, and also the signaling post obviously adds quite a bit of lore. Like the again, like the people in the castle are and all over the town are using the signaling. I'm trying to get onto the walls, but whatever. Are using the signaling posts to see if there's anything happening, and of course, the soldiers in the castle can get ready for an incoming invasion, and so can the soldiers in the town living in the barracks. They can also get ready for an invasion. So it adds quite a bit of lore, and it also looks pretty cool up on that hill, especially from down here, kind of obscured in the fog. Definitely looks quite mysterious. So very happy with how that signaling tower has come together, and I think it's a very nice use of space. However, for the next project I'd like to work on in this episode, it's a little bit of a weird one, but I think it's gonna turn out really cool once we finish it. So this ravine has been here obviously since day one, and I think I always thought I really wanted to do something cool with this, right? And this town, it kind of, it doesn't seem like there's much industry here, right? There's a lot of sort of stores and things, shop fronts here, but there's not a lot of industry. And I thought some of the industry here could be amethyst mining, because amethyst, I just personally think it looks super cool, and amethyst, I don't know, it just looks like a kind of magical, mysterious block. And this ravine, I thought it would just be super cool, right? So here's my kind of idea. First of all, we have to clean up blocks like diorite, granite, that kind of stuff. But after we do that, we sort of lace amethyst and also cobblestone, just for a little bit of texture. But sort of like amethyst and cobblestone into the walls of the ravine. And at the bottom, we can put a layer of black concrete with black stained glass on top to make it look like this ravine is super deep, right? It just goes straight down into the earth. It's super deep. And I don't know, it just seems like such a cool idea to have this sort of be like a whole mining operation here of like amethyst, maybe extracting it for some properties that we haven't even discovered yet. Maybe we don't even know it, but amethyst has magical properties, or maybe that's what they're trying to find in it, is if it has any sort of magical properties. So they're trying to extract it from the ravine. And then maybe they're also trying to see what else is at the bottom of the ravine. Maybe a giant deposit of diamonds or something. I don't know. Something to shop at Void's Traveling Wagon with English. Something to shop at Void's Traveling Wagon with. Maybe some diamonds. I don't know. But yeah, it seems like it would be a cool idea to maybe have some machinery and stuff sort of over the top of this ravine, kind of just extracting resources. And I'm not thinking it has to be very deep. Again, with that concrete, we could only make it, we could really only make it so it's like a few blocks deep, maybe 15 blocks deep. And that also really makes it a lot easier to work in the ravine. But right now, the first thing that I want to do is kind of make this ravine a bit larger here. So obviously there's this bit of dirt right here, so I just want to kind of get rid of this, and then we can work on sort of cleaning up the ravine, adding the glass, and then maybe sort of adding the amethyst and this cooler parts of it. And then maybe in the next episode we'll add the machines. Maybe we'll add our first sort of machines around here this episode, and then we could start working on like the surroundings. I don't know, but I'm super pumped for this project. This will add so much sort of life and detail to this town, so let's get working. Oh boy, I did not realize how far back this ravine goes. It goes all the way to the first little panel of the barn. Okay, this is quite a large ravine, but that's good, actually. I think that's a very good thing, because it means this will stand out a lot more, and it'll mean that we have more room to put in sort of like machinery and things. Again, sort of adding more room for detail, which is always something you want. If I was worried that this was going to be a tiny ravine, and that would not have been good for building. So, very happy that this is a lot larger than I at first expected. Now, as per usual, I don't have much glass, and my solution, obviously, is going to be buying it from villagers. You actually thought that I was going to go out and manually smelt sand myself? Heck no. Buying it from villagers is the way to go. See, look, here we go. That's so much more glass than I would have been able to get otherwise. I have way more emeralds than I thought I did. Okay. And keep in mind, these emeralds are just what I got from the current crop that was in the chest of the pumpkin farm. We're automatically farming glass, people. On a technicality, of course, we're not actually automatically farming glass. We're automatically farming pumpkins, which equal glass. But still, it's essentially automatically farming glass, which is awesome. Why do, like, none of my villagers sell glass? Like, none of them sell glass. What is going on? Oh, here we go. Here's another glass seller. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here's just an idea from Mojang. Sort of just something that they could probably add in a pretty easy way. Maybe with cauldrons or something. If they're not going to add potion cauldrons, make it so that when we clean items like banners or whatever, maybe even cleaning wool, make it so that we can take the ink and gather it from the cauldrons. I know that probably doesn't work in real life, or not the ink, but like the dye, because it would make it so that when you automatically farm like wool and things, you could get the dye from it. That would be super cool. I don't know why, but like that would make it a lot less pointless to have that much multicolored wool, because I don't think I've ever used that wool. I have ideas for it, but I don't think I'm going to use much of it. So if I could get the dye out of it, that would be awesome. Especially black dye. Black dye I do not have a lot of. I have the sand. I have the gravel. But I don't have the ink. I have everything that people hate gathering, but none of the thing that people automatically farm. Alright, ink and more glass have been acquired, and I truly do hope that this is enough glass. And, hold on. I just realized I'd completely forgotten that concrete comes in powder form. Okay, I need to go turn this into... Okay, you get what I'm gonna do, and then you also get what I'm gonna do after that, so... You'll see me once I'm done filling in the ravine with glass. So I'm out here gathering more ink since there obviously was not enough glass or concrete, and I see this. An almost fully constructed shipwreck. We need to do something cool with this at some point. Alright folks, I am super happy with how this foggy layer at the bottom of the ravine has come together. I think maybe in the future I could add a second layer of glass and it would look like a bit deeper, I guess, because right now it looks like there's eventually going to be something at the bottom. That creeper is definitely making it quite obvious that there's something at the bottom, but eventually maybe we can add a second layer of glass and that could hopefully help sell it even more. Now, the next thing I obviously need to do is clean out what I'm going to call the ugly blocks. So diorite, granite, weird patches of dirt, probably some ores, even though ores tend to be quite beautiful. That's definitely not what we want here. And then after that, we're going to probably lace in some andesite, more tastefully placed in, some cobblestone, and then obviously some amethyst. And then we can start working on the surroundings. So, see you after I'm done kind of cleaning up this ravine. Okay, so I've just cleaned up all of the ugly blocks around here, and now I think we're going to step into a time lapse as I fill this entire place with cobblestone and a little bit of andesite. Enjoy the time lapse. Right, is that eye candy enough for you? I mean, this entire place just looks magical. Hold on, I need to get rid of this ladder now. I was just using this to get up and down a little bit. Here we go. Is this eye candy enough? I think this might be eye candy enough. Yeah, if you're flying over the base now, it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit eye-catching, you know. These yeah, I don't know. It's so cool. Like you're walking around here and you just look down there and you're like, whoa, that's a deep ravine. Whoa, it's chock full of amethyst. And then once we have some machines and things running over here, this will be probably this is gonna look awesome. Okay, I am so excited for this. But the next thing I want to work on, obviously, is adding those machines and also cleaning up a few last patches of the ugly blocks. Again, I'm not saying that these have to be ugly in your opinion, but in my opinion, these blocks like granite and diorite in this ravine look quite ugly. So definitely going to remove these, and then we're going to work on kind of constructing some machinery and things around here. So see you after I'm done cleaning up the ravine. Also, thank you so much to Too Much Mustard for these lovely amethyst blocks. I gave him some wool, and in return he gave me all of his amethyst, which is insane. Thank you, man. Alright, so I was thinking we could maybe have these machines sort of like riding on rails here, sort of like this, I guess. Let's see, like that. Alright, this actually looks super cool. It looks like a giant drill with like a really pointy needle that's kind of, or like a really pointy bit that's kind of pointing right into the bottom of the ravine, maybe trying to extract more resources from down there. And I also just think the excessive length of the drill, just like, you know, I could have stopped maybe there with the chain. No, gotta put the iron bar right there, make it look like it's just excessive. I don't know, looks kind of funny. And yeah, I also just think it looks like this machine does move along this track, sort of. Maybe if we in the future add more iron bars, but currently I'm actually out of iron bars, so not going to do that right now. But maybe we can also add like, wait, hold on a second. Hold on, I just had an idea. Let me see if this actually works. All right, so this one, I don't know about this one actually. Like, I like it, but I don't know exactly what it's doing. I knew I wanted to have one of them kind of poking the side of the ravine, and this one, I just, to make it actually look like it was kind of poking the side of the ravine, I just put a little hole using a sideways stair there, and I think it looks really cool. But I don't know if I love this bit right here where it kind of looks like it's, I don't know, I just think that looks a little bit unnatural. This one I'm super happy with, but the other one I don't know as much about whether I'm happy with it or not. However, I don't know. I just think this ravine looks so cool, and there's definitely still some work I need to do on the outside, obviously. Always an ongoing process, and I still never got rid of that piece of dye right there. Very sad. But I have gotten rid of... Oh my gosh. For a second, I forgot that amethyst is not deep slate, and when you fall on the little crystals, you don't take extra damage. I thought I was gone. I thought I was gone, and the 35 levels that I had on me as well. That would have been very unfortunate. However, yeah, I don't know. I just think this whole ravine area just looks super cool, and next episode, I think we can do something really cool with like some infrastructure around here, obviously connecting this to the rest of the town with some paths and things. Definitely some super cool stuff. However, I think that's actually where we are going to leave off today's episode. So, as always, my name has been Void Doctor. If you did love today's episode, please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye for now.